Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you could join us today for this very special training on using financial wellness circles to heal money wounds. My name is Rita Wolfson. I am the founder of Financial Social Work and a national NASW pioneer. With us today is Linda Benjamin, our relationship manager, and Eric Sock, who takes care of all things digital and technical. And of course, our very special trainer, Tiana Ingram. But I am going to spend a few minutes explaining what financial social work is so that you understand why we offer these trainings on a regular basis. Before I get started, I want to remind you that you can check the chat box for any messages. We don't share our slide decks, they are proprietary, but you will receive the recording of this training next week in your inbox, and it will be on our Facebook page, YouTube channel within a few days. If you have questions, please ask them in the question box and we will answer as many as time permits. There is no CE for this webinar, just a great learning experience. And take a second to copy down this link in case you have any technical problems, because that's who could answer those questions for you. Okay. Stay tuned to the end because we have a very special webinar attendee discount that you will want to know about and take advantage of. I start these monthly free webinars with our financial social work affirmation because I think it captures what my work over the past 2 decades is truly all about. It goes, just for today, I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. Silence my inner critic, speak my truth, and make peace with myself and with my past. Just for today, I will give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life in order to prepare for a better tomorrow by healing my relationship with my money and with myself today. We like to start with a graphic that we ask you to participate in. Please share your reactions, your thoughts, your ideas. What comes to mind when you see this picture? And Linda will be giving you that feedback. Take it away, Lynn.
Well, put your, if you would please put your reactions in the question box. And we already have someone who says, intentional spending, stress,
Great.
and which card to use. Trying to understand exactly what money is. Money on my mind. I spent too much money. Why did I charge so much on my card? Stress. Why I spent too much money. There is no life outside of credit. Post-purchase regret. It looks like the person is trying to figure out his money. Person grappling with credit card debt. One word, agony. How am I going to pay for this? Why did I purchase this? How am I going to get through this? How do I get rid of all my debt? 2 words, worry and doubt. The disconnection between money and credit debit cards. Serious contemplation. Consternation about money spent. How do I get out of this debt? How much is this going to cost me later, living paycheck to paycheck to keep up with spending? Thinking, how do I pay for the debt I already have? What was I thinking? Should I cut these cards up? How to
there
leverage
you go.
credit and questioning finances and debt.
Well, I didn't really mean to start this off with such negative thinking, but I guess it kind of leads us into everything you're going to learn about financial wellness today. So I'm going to assume and hope that this was a good thing. Linda, thank you for presenting those. Thanks everyone for participating. And someone said something about there's that debt is life. Unfortunately, as most of you who are familiar with financial social work, you know that so much of our lives do revolve around our credit scores. So that does play an important role in every area of our lives. So great lead in, I guess, to financial social work, what it is, what it does, who needs it, when, and why. Financial social work is a behavioral model. It addresses the thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, values, and experiences that drive financial behavior. And until and unless behavior changes, nothing changes. It goes so far beyond dollars, debt, math, the budgets, the most traditional things that we traditionally think about when we think about money. Financial behavior is how one earns, spends, saves, shares, and borrows. Anyone here today joining us knows that money is complicated and life is complicated. And surely there is no one simple or easy fix for either one. What we try to do at the Center for Financial Social Work is to reduce the overwhelming feelings that accompany financial problems, the stress, anxiety, shame, trauma, because they can be so instrumental in complicating our money, our lives, and our mental health. Financial social work is at the intersection of social work, politics, the economy, gender, racial, social, economic, other able justice, and climate change. Climate change is a growing issue when it comes to personal finance. And of course, mental health and equity. It is all of these things and more, because these are the components that are needed to create long-term sustainable financial behavioral change. Financial social workers are needed now more than ever because of all of the things in this list and even many more. This is the time. And though I've been doing this for over 2 decades and watching the progression, the need for it does seem to grow all the time. So what do social workers do? Well, they are agents of financial change. They address money and mental health. They advocate for marginalized groups. They work to heal their own. Very important piece. When I created all of this, I wanted to make sure that our students and graduates had the skills and the tools and the knowledge to be competent and confident at the work they do in helping clients with financial problems. But I wanted to make sure that our graduates had those skills, not only professionally, but personally also. They create safe, non-judgmental spaces for learning, processing, and talking about money. very few people have access to a safe, non-judgmental space when it comes to learning about money. Financial social work helps clients cope, heal, and deal with their money and mental health, and are dedicated to addressing money problems, stress, anxiety, and trauma, committed to gender, social, and economic justice, and approach life and money from a perspective of healing, acceptance, courage, honesty, and hope. And it is all about sustainable long-term financial behavioral change. So when we look at this through the financial lens, helping clients improve their financial health is an imperative for all helping professions. As agents of financial change, we have a responsibility to modernize the work we do to better serve the requirements of today's clients. So we offer comprehensive and ethical client services in times of gender, social, and economic inequality, disappearing subsidies, and record inflation. So it's about healing your relationship with your money and yourself, growing more successful personally, financially, and professionally, making peace with your money and yourself, understanding there's always help, setting personal and financial boundaries. Always a financial behavioral change component, and knowing that our work is heart-centered. So it starts with the individual, spreads to the family, into the social environment, the workplace, and the community. We have graduates across the country and around the world. Our speaker today is a particularly wonderful graduate who is part of something that she and some other graduates created that she'll share with you later. So one simple truth is, while no one chooses to have money problems, most people do. That's why so many Americans need financial social work. They need trustworthy, reliable professionals with whom to process all things monetary. They need that space where they can talk and learn about money. And before I hand this off to Tayana, I want to point out that everyone needs someone and somewhere to share their money secrets and questions that they've been hiding from or avoiding all of their lives. And now it gives me really great pleasure, if I can click in the right place, to turn this over to Tayana. Okay, it's all yours, Tayana.
Hello, everyone. I was on mute. Apologies. I am so happy to be here. Thank you, Rita. Let me go ahead and pull this up so I make sure that we have enough time to go through everything. Again, thank you, Rita, for this opportunity. I just love financial social work. Every time I hear what it is, I get excited again. So I'm just really happy to be here and just, appreciate you all for joining. So today, like we said, we're going to be sharing how to use financial wellness circles to heal money wounds. So who am I? I am Tayana Ingram. I'm an associate clinical social worker. I'm also a certified financial social worker and a certified financial education instructor. I'm the founder of Financial Healing Circles, used to be called the 10 Coins. Really, my mission, it's a growing business, and my mission is just to empower underserved communities to heal their money wounds and achieve financial peace of mind through a holistic and faith-based approach to financial wellness. I'm also the co-founder of the new Financial Social Work Collaborative. Rita was hinting at that earlier. Myself, along with 3 other financial social work graduates, developed the collaborative in order to just bring other social work students and graduates together to connect, to learn, to network, and really just to amplify the profession of financial social work. I am a graduate of the Howard University, and I also graduated with my MSW from the University of Southern California for over 10 years as a direct service social worker, all the way up to executive leadership. I have been working alongside individuals and families that have been impacted by the foster care system. I love God. Jesus is my homeboy. I love dancing. I love traveling and just seeing so many different cultures. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, but I have been living in Los Angeles for almost 15 years. Rihanna is my birthday twin, so I always say, as far as my money mindset, if she can be a billionaire, I can too. And I'm also a dog mama. It's been a year to Sunny D, and he has helped heal a lot for me. And so I share all of this and give you a little bit of background to share that, yeah, I do have, right, the formal education and the professional experience that, you know, allows me to come and share information with you all today. But really, deep down, I'm just that little Black girl from the Bronx who has overcome so many different money wounds, and I'm still on a financial healing journey. And it's just my mission to really inspire and walk alongside others who are navigating their financial healing journeys as well. So let's get into it. Today we will be sharing, or I will be sharing, about just how financial wellness circles are a great tool for helping clients to take control of their money and their lives. I'll start with sharing a perspective to understand what money wounds are and how they impact financial wellness. And then I'll go into why that holistic approach to financial wellness circles contributes to authentic healing. I'll share the purpose and key components of developing a financial wellness circle if any of you are interested in developing your own. And then I'll share some feedback from clients who have been impacted by financial wellness circles and show just really how these circles can engage clients in lasting behavioral change. So let's start by getting a little interactive at first with a poll. Let me pull it up for you. All right, if you all would take a couple minutes or a couple seconds to answer this, according to a recent study by the American Psychological Association, what percentage do you think of Americans are stressed because of money concerns? Thank you for responding. We'll give it a couple more seconds.
Ayana, we have a great group. They're really
I know. I thank you for participating. It makes it so much more fun. I know you can't see me and I can't see you, but this helps me feel like we're in the same room together. All right, I will close it down in about 5 seconds. Thank you. Let me share the results. So 57% of you all said 80%. And let's go to my next slide to see if y'all are right. And you are, which is a huge number, right? As many as 8 out of 10 Americans said that they were stressed because of money concerns. 50% of them said that they were stressed about their ability to provide for their family's basic needs, right? So that's where they're going to sleep at night, if they're going to be able to eat that day. 56% are concerned about job stability and workload. 60% said, right, their money stresses are making them feel angry and irritable. 53% are feeling fatigued and just lying awake at night with worry. And you see so many of them are having physical manifestations to their money stresses, right? Having headaches, upset stomach, and increased muscle tension. And so I share, there we go. So we're seeing, right? People are stressed about money. A lot of us are. So I invite you all. I know Rita started with the affirmation too, but take a deep breath. If any of that sounds familiar to yourself, I promise you're not alone. I've been there, and so many of us on this call have probably been there too. So let's get you to just understand a little bit what money wounds are. So money wounds, it's another term for money trauma. I call money trauma money wounds because wounds gives us the hope, right, that it can be healed, right? Trauma is such a heavy word and can feel really defeating at times. And so when we're saying wounds, right, like whether it's a physical wound or an internal wound, like we have a possibility to be able to heal that. So money wounds are the emotional and psychological impact that our past experiences with money can have on an individual's current financial situation. Really, it can be any significant negative event related to money. That could be poverty, financial abuse. I work a lot with domestic violence survivors, and 99% of domestic violence survivors have experienced financial abuse in their relationships. It can be job loss, unemployment, high student loan debt. Shout out to the millennials dealing with that. Different cultural expectations, right? So maybe your culture, they believe in huge wedding celebrations, right? Or other cultures, it's really important to get the name brand clothing or to have a certain style of home or different things like that, right? That can be just different negative events that relate to money. And so what do money wounds feel like, and what are some signs and symptoms? Feelings of inadequacy, right? It can damage your self-esteem, make you feel unworthy, again, like you saw, angry, ashamed, and just negatively impact your mind and body and relationships and social life. It can make you avoid financial matters. I've seen that so many times, right? Avoiding tasks like budgeting, viewing your online banking statement, right? But that can really lead to disorganization and kind of perpetuate that cycle of financial stress, right? Think about it. If you are in debt and you don't want to pick up the phone calls from a debt collector that may be offering you an opportunity for a payment plan, that can increase your financial stress because you're just getting into more debt and avoiding it. And then chronic under-earning, we don't talk about that a lot. I've experienced this, and so many people that I've worked with have experienced this, right? When you are already feeling unworthy, subconsciously, you may limit your own earning potential. So that may be you may not have the courage to ask for a raise, or you may be undercharging for your services if you own a business. And just because you don't believe that you deserve more, or you fear, right, that it may lead to negative consequences. So that's heavy, right? It's a lot. What are money wounds? All of that, but there's hope, y'all. And that hope and that solution is a holistic approach to financial wellness. And that holistic approach means an approach that addresses and serves someone's mind, body, and soul. And so we need an approach that provides tools and strategies to enhance resilience, right? Enhance someone's ability to be able to bounce back when they do experience these negative life experiences. Encourage participants to reframe their negative financial beliefs and change them into positive, constructive perspectives. We saw in that survey, right, that there's physical manifestations in money stressors. So we need to make sure that an approach integrates stress management techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, and relaxation exercises. And then we must incorporate faith-based or spiritual practices that align with that participant's belief, right? We want to make sure that the goals that they are setting provide a deep sense of purpose and peace. And again, so they can have that hope that they will get out of that situation and that they can move forward. And so insert financial wellness circles, right? Financial wellness circles offers that holistic approach to healing and empowerment. These circles provide individuals with that ongoing support, facilitating their journey towards financial stability. And then by addressing the root causes, right, of financial vulnerability and fostering that sense of community and belonging, financial wellness circles empower individuals to chart that path towards long-term resilience. So I really emphasize the term root causes because that's really where it comes from. Like, we can have all the tools in the world to know how to budget or know a savings plan, right? But if you're not addressing why you think the way you do about money, where these money feelings come up that impact our financial behaviors, then we'll again perpetuate that cycle of money wounds. So we'll get into another survey. If addressing those root causes, what percentage, let me launch it for you all. All right, I would love your participation. But yes, what percentage of adults report that their financial habits are influenced by their parents? Thank you for participating. I'll give you about 10 more seconds. All righty, I'm gonna close it down in 1 second. So much participation, really, really appreciate y'all. And 75%, and I see it and I hear it. So let's go ahead to this next slide to really show what it is. All right, y'all are right. Y'all are some smart participants. I love it. 75% of adults report that their financial habits are influenced by their parents. And so when we're talking about those root causes in financial social work, we talk about it as your money story, right? And Rita did a webinar on your money story a few months ago. So I would encourage you all, if you haven't checked that out already, to check it out, because your money story is the most powerful piece in your financial life. It's impacted by the money messages that you received and the money experiences that you faced since you were a small child. And like it says, right, it goes beyond what you were taught about money. I mean, many of us have not received formal financial education as a child or even as an adult, but it goes beyond that, right? You may have been taught, right, how to save, but it goes more towards what was modeled, right? What did you see at home? What did you see in society? What were the emotions and feelings that you were feeling as a child or up until yesterday, right? What were you feeling? And that all influences your money story. Okay, so let's get into it. The purpose, right, of financial wellness circles. Each financial wellness circle can have a different theme, right? Sometimes my themes could be healing money wounds, healing generational trauma. Sometimes a theme I've had is making your money work for you, right? Depending on your population or whatever, you can have a different theme, but the purpose will remain the same. Each financial wellness circle, the purpose is to allow participants to embrace their money story. Again, right, like what we were saying, it's the biggest piece of your financial situation. Develop a positive money mindset, right? Like, mindset is key. What you think about money goes into your feelings, and then that influences your financial behaviors. Reduce financial stress when you have been dealing with money trauma, money wounds. A lot of times, right, that brings financial stress. And then to build a resilient relationship with yourself and your money. Okay, so some key components of a financial wellness circle. I'll go through what a financial wellness circle looks like when I'm facilitating it, so you can see it, kind of how it plays out in real time. So the first component, right, is that safe, supportive community. We all need each other. Healing is hard by yourself. Already when you're experiencing money wounds, it feels very isolating. Again, we talked about those feelings of shame and guilt. And so we need to connect with other people, build that support network, and to really know that you're not alone. In some ways that I do that, so as soon as we're starting a financial wellness circle, number one, we're sharing that your money is hard to talk about. Money is very difficult to talk about. And so you want to create that space and to let them know that, acknowledge that, create some group agreements, right? Where it can say, you're embracing confidentiality, sharing that they need to be confidentiality. They don't want to talk over one another, and you're just creating that space so it can be supportive and they can lean on one another. And then it's a holistic approach, right? Like I said, I always start financial healing circles with Rita's affirmation that she said at the beginning, and where each participant can pick which piece of the affirmation sticks out to them today. I'm always incorporating affirmation music, right? High vibrational music that's going to the mindset. Usually we listen to that music when we're doing our journaling exercises. We start each financial wellness circle after the affirmations, right, with a meditation to just ground us. And all of this fosters that deep sense of introspection, healing, and empowerment. And again, like addressing that mind, body, soul. All financial wellness circles are interactive and action oriented. So I like to say I'm the facilitator of these circles, but it's really their group. Each group is different. Each community is different, right? And that's the benefit of them. I learn from them too. So you want to make sure that you're creating that space for people to feel comfortable to share their stories, to lean on one another. So often when they hear other stories from someone else that has maybe been through a similar circumstance as them, that increases their resilience. And then action oriented, right? You want to help them set and achieve tangible financial goals that align with their values and faith, not my values and faith, not their neighbors, not their parents, their values and faith. And then of course, we're incorporating financial social work and freedom framework principles, right? And the freedom framework is a framework that I developed that we'll be getting into right now in a second. And that is to equip individuals with practical strategies to navigate financial challenges and build a foundation for lasting financial wellness. So the freedom framework, like I said, a few years ago, I developed it, and how really I came to develop this is number one, going through my own financial healing journey, and then walking alongside others, going through their journey and seeing what really stuck out, what pieces stuck out, and what really helped. It emphasizes the importance of financial healing, financial earning, and financial learning to facilitate client-centered interventions. As you can see, it is not a linear approach, right? You don't start with focus on the present moment and just work your way up to making a fun financial freedom plan. You can work on multiple of these tasks at one time. You can start with opportunities to increase income and then go back to reframing limiting beliefs. As you see, right, it's kind of like a roller coaster. It goes ups and downs depending on whatever is going on in your life at the moment. Each letter is correlated with a different principle. So focus on the present moment, right? That's like forgiving your past money mistakes. That's a big piece because there's so much shame and guilt around our money wounds. Reframe those limiting beliefs, again, developing that positive money mindset. Embracing and reauthoring your money story is key. We want to help them to unpack that money story, learn about it, but then embrace it, right? It is who they are, but also, again, provide that hope that now, right, when you know better, you can do better. So you can create a future financial story, and we'll give them tools and do different journaling exercises for them to actually reauthor their money story. Then empowering your inner money self, right? Recognize your why and your wishes, right? Really what motivates you to achieve financial wellness. Then deep dive into your financial behavior, right? How do you earn? How do you spend? How do you save, right? Who do you owe money to? Thinking about all those different things and do a deep dive. Once you are aware of your financial situation, that's when you can really start to make those changes. And then definitely, I always incorporate the opportunities to increase income. We can have, again, all of the learning, right? And also go through the healing, but if we don't have money, then it's hard for us to actually, move forward towards our goals. And so using financial social work curriculum, we can go over like helping participants to define their passions, what their gifts and talents and skills are, seeing if they can incorporate that into another stream of income for themselves, or giving them the confidence to ask for a raise or to, increase their prices if they have a business. And then lastly, it's maintaining a fun financial freedom plan. We don't love the word budget in financial social work. This is a freedom plan that, again, is aligned with their values and making it achievable for them. All right, and then going into developing a financial wellness circle. So questions to ask yourself. First is you really want to say, what is the purpose for this circle, right? What are your potential outcomes? So like I mentioned earlier, there can be different purposes. Maybe your specific purpose for this financial wellness circle that you're a series that you're creating is just to do money story work, right? You really want participants to be able to unpack and really embrace their money story. So thinking about that, right? Looking at what your outcomes. I've had financial wellness circles where the purpose, right, was to really just help them reframe those limiting beliefs. It's a lot of limiting beliefs. So we want to create activities and use different affirmation music and journaling exercises that will help them to reframe those limiting beliefs. Second, you want to see what tools would be engaging and helpful to your specific population, right? So for, say I work with a lot with transitional age foster youth, right? And they're about 18 to 25-year-olds. So the affirmation music I use will probably be a little bit more upbeat when I'm working with them. When I'm working with just a group of women, I may include only music that has like women empowerment, right? Affirmation music, different things like that. With this one, it's really important to be mindful of like cultural humility, right? Who are you serving? Right? Think about the cultures, think about how they view money. And it's great to add, when I say humility, meaning to ask questions, if you're working with an organization to do it, or if you're working with individuals, really like looking at what do they want to learn? What is really helpful to them? So thinking about cultural humility, thinking about equity, right? Thinking about what the population that you're serving, what they specifically need and what would be engaging to them. So often we can feel, each financial wellness circle, right? Like I said, it has different themes and some of them look differently because it depends on who I'm serving, right? So you want to be flexible in that. Create a template, but be flexible. And then 3, ask yourself, is the group going to be virtual or is it going to be in person, right? When I do an in-person financial wellness circle, I am creating that safe space, right? So I'm setting up the room to be the chairs to be in a circle, or sometimes we're sitting on pillows, right? I'll have an essential oil diffuser going, right? Music in the background already as they're entering, right? You want to create that vibe, that safe space for them. If I'm doing it virtual, I may share with them first, right? Bring some aromatherapy for yourself, bring a glass of tea, like have a writing utensil, you know, have something to that makes you happy, like setting that space for them already virtually. Another big thing virtually is I encourage to have an assistant. I recently started with having an assistant to be able to help you navigate the different screens, right? We're listening to different music. There's so many different things to pull up, different things. And I want to be present in that space so that way I can make sure that space stays safe and stays, and I can interact with the group. So that's something that you want to think about. And lastly, but honestly, maybe even most importantly, you want to see how you will measure success. You're always growing, right? And there may be something that you learned from one group that you want to incorporate from another group, and you want to get that feedback. Sometimes feedback can be hard, but you want to get that feedback. So sometimes that success is measured through pre-test and post-test, right? Where we can see the growth of someone out the time before they attended the financial wellness circle or after the financial wellness circle. Then we can see sometimes it's just asking a few questions or sending them a survey after each financial wellness circle to just evaluate what they found most helpful, what they liked the most, what parts were challenging. All of this will help you when you are developing future financial wellness circles, so that way you can improve and ensure that the financial wellness circles are actually being helpful to the population that you're serving. And then lastly, I just want to share with you some actual feedback that we received from some clients just to show you how the financial wellness circles really impacts behavioral change. So first, this individual shared, this blew me away. It went deeper than I expected. I know it's possible. I now know it's possible to heal these money wounds. The big thing I want to point out there is the possibility, right? In these financial wellness circles, you're giving as a facilitator, and if you're a client receiving it, you'll receive a lot of hope. So many times, again, when we have been impacted by money trauma and have, have that shame, that worry, all of that on us, we just don't see the possibilities anymore, right? When we're covered in debt, when we're dealing with money stresses, it's really hard for us to see those possibilities. And so you really want to instill that hope and let them know that there is a way to heal. A big piece with that too is it went deeper than I expected. So as I shared earlier, yes, I am a clinician and trained, but this is not therapy, but financial wellness circles are therapeutic in a sense, right? We're working a lot about thoughts and feelings and behavioral change. And so that's something good to, like, when you're introducing your financial wellness circles to the individuals you're serving, or to the organizations that you may be doing them with. Yeah, most times you'll see some tears, right? You'll see a lot of emotions. There's a lot of emotions connected with money, right? So you want to make sure that you're equipped to hold space for that, and again, to validate these feelings and their emotions for them. The second is I enjoy the safe feeling of community. Again, that real hope and steps for permanent change, the exercises and affirmations. This is really to highlight that importance of that holistic approach, right? That feeling of community. Again, we all need each other. Sometimes us in America can feel like we have to do everything alone. But again, healing money wounds and money trauma is isolating enough. And so creating that community space, and which is why I love financial wellness circles, is because you're not doing it alone and you're able to learn from one another. And that, again, you're increasing their circles of support for after, because sometimes they connect, right? And now that they have a different person that can help hold them accountable and be there to create that lasting financial change. And then, let me move this screen. Lastly, for this one, this process involved affirming where I'm at in my journey, learning new ways to combat negative self-talk, and learning how to make positive decisions with my money, which includes spending it. And I love this one because a lot of times, which is why, right, we don't use the word budget. And I don't use the word budget so much because budget feels like the word diet, right? It feels like we're limiting all the things that we love. And so if you are creating, making positive decisions with your money, you're going to spend it on what you value the most. I always use this in my financial wellness circles, and I'll share it with you too. Like, I love getting my nails done, but getting my nails done is very expensive. So I incorporate it once a month in my budget, right? But that's something that I value and that's important to me. So I want to make sure I put it in my budget. What I don't value as much and what's not important to me is really name brand like handbags or clothes or things like that. And so I don't have to spend my money on things like that. So if I was trying to maybe go with like cultural expectations to keep up, like that, probably after I would spend money on a bag or something like that, that would probably make me feel worse after, rather than now I can actually put my money towards what is important to me, and again, have fun with it and make positive decisions. Okay, so I hope this helps. I know it was pretty fast, a lot of information. So I just want to share some of my services that I do through my business financial healing circles. And if you want to connect with me, obviously, right, I provide financial wellness circles, which we just talked about. I typically partner with organizations to implement financial wellness circles. Starting this fall, I'll be opening them up to the community also. So once you get my contact information at the end, I would suggest just getting on my email list so that way you know if you're interested or know someone who will be interested in that. I also do financial wellness consulting. So if you are interested in developing your own financial wellness circles or implementing other financial social work or financial wellness practices into your life or your program, I work with individuals and organizations to do that one-on-one. Then I do healing hangouts. Really what this is a one-on-one session. It's not therapy. I like to say, think about it as hanging with your homegirl that happens to be a certified financial social worker and a financial education instructor. And really what it is just designed to increase your circles of support so that way you can improve your relationship with yourself, your money, and others. And then I also do public speaking and workshops. So if you have a group that you would love for me to do a workshop or just speak to just help to inspire, educate, and empower them to take control over their financial futures, I am here for that as well. And I want to share a little bit more just about the Financial Social Work Collaborative. If you are a financial social work student or a graduate, I strongly encourage you to visit our website and register for this free collaborative. We meet a few times a month to just network, collaborate, learn from one another, just grow and share information. If you have not if you're not a financial social work student or graduate but are interested, we host a monthly public open house that's open to anyone. We just hosted our monthly one a couple days ago, so the next one will be in August. But if you follow us on any of these platforms, you will be informed about our next event. So these are the wonderful women that have that I have collaborated with to found this collaborative. So I encourage you all to join if you're interested. And then lastly, here's my personal information. If you have your smartphone and want to share this barcode, it goes to my link tree with all of my information. You can schedule some time with me. I love connecting. Definitely connect with me on LinkedIn or just reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, I am here. I've been through things and I just want to help others go through it. But I really just thank you all for this time, and I'll pass it back to you, Rita.
Okay, I'll just spend one more second or two here so people can grab your information, because I have a feeling they're definitely going to want to be in touch with you. And then I need to take it back from you, don't I? Okay. Rita Wilson. Okay. So before we go to your questions, I just have a few things I'd like to share with you. A few things to remember about money. While no one chooses to have money problems, most people do. No one needs to know everything about money, but everyone needs to know certain things about money. What I need to know, what Tiana needs to know, what each of you needs to know. There will be overlap on that, but each of us will have other different things that we need to know about money. And something I speak of very often is the problem that we continue to raise generation after generation of financially illiterate people. And that has to start by providing more financial education to our children, our nieces and nephews, cousins, students. We must remember the really important and strong connection between money and mental health and keep our eye on that. And we must always remember there is a potential for suicide when people become that stressed by their financial circumstances that shouldn't and doesn't have to be a death sentence. Always choose life. Everyone has a relationship with money and self, and most need healed. Healing your relationship with yourself takes time, honesty, less self-criticism, and more self-love. And when we talk about money, remember, we are talking about many different things: safety, security, survival. But we're also talking about power, because those who have the power are the ones who have the money. So we're just going to finish up, and I'm going to give you that discount code. So additional resources, next month's free webinar is on credit scoring changes of 2024. We have the Director of Education from Experian, the consumer reporting agency, and he's been doing this for us for a number of years. And he gives us an important update that we all need to know about as credit scores continue to change. We haven't put up the September webinar yet, but I wanted you to know that it is coming, and it will be on financial mapping, developing your financial genogram to boost your financial well-being. This training will be presented by Dr. Veronica Hardy and combined with her new book, Impact Your Income, Tips for Financial Wellness and Empowerment. And it will include one free CE. We also have a client financial wellness magazine that you can find on the Financial Social Work website. And we have Financial Social Work Directory that you can list yourself or your agency in. It is a resource for people searching for help and support coping with today's many financial challenges. All of these things are on our website. We have a partner program, and many of our graduates are earning money by being part of the partner program. It also is on the website. And here we go with these four amazing women, Tiana being one of them, who have created the Financial Social Work Collaborative. And what we do with all of these resources is to be as comprehensive and supportive to our students and graduates as possible. And we have our certification, and our students have 6 months to complete it. It is self-study and self-paced, includes all materials, the final exam, and a frameable certificate. There is a 3-year renewal. And today, for those of you who attended, the cost is $695, and it does include a lifetime membership in the directory and membership in the FSW Collaborative, along with 20 CEUs from National and ASW for those who need or want them. And because you attended today, we are offering you 15% off on all of our products on the website. And that is the code webinar 2024-07. It is good through midnight on Monday, July 15th. And so, Linda, do we have any questions? We have some time to take them.
Well, actually, we do have questions. Tiana, before we dig into the questions, you have several shout outs from your HBCU community. And one participant in particular said, "Hi, Tiana. I don't mean to brag, but I represent Florida A&M University, the team that won the HBCU National Championship."
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, question. Where do your participants come from? Do you market circles and have people sign up, or do you already have people who are interested and you create a circle?
Love it, love it, love it. So right now, my participants typically, I partner with nonprofit organizations primarily. Like I said, I will this fall start because I've been asked to open it up to just community members who are interested in it also. So I will be starting. So typically what I do, I use my network for that. And that's that market is to communicate what I'm doing, sharing what it is, again, amplifying financial social work and the importance of financial wellness circles. And because I've been working in the nonprofit world and field for over a decade, that has been my go-to. So I always encourage people to use your network that you have already, look at who you've been serving, and see if they would be good candidates, which I think almost anybody is a good candidate for financial wellness circles. But you start where you're at already. Start with your network that you already have.
I want to point out also that Tiana will be putting her information. She's on our Financial Social Work directory, but she will be adding her financial circles to the directory in case you wake up in the next few days or weeks and can't remember how to reach her. By next week, she'll be in our directory. Okay, Lynn, what's next?
Okay. Tiana, what is a typical number of sessions or meetings, and what time? How long do each of the circles run?
Thank you. So typically the sessions are broken down into like 3, 6, or 8, depending a lot of that. So like with social work, right? Everything is individualized based off of who you're serving. So I get a lot, I guess to answer even the first question, I do a lot of information gathering with organizations or the clients about what's most important to them first, so that way I can develop and give them ideas of what would be the appropriate number of sessions. And so, yeah, typically it's in like increments of 3 or 6, but I have done 8 sessions altogether. That includes a little bit more, that goes a little bit more in depth. All the circles are typically 2 hours long. And I limit the participants, I usually allow about 12 people to sign up, knowing that some people may like drop off or drop down. I've tried it with larger groups. It's not as it's harder to create that safer space because we're going so in depth and to get to stick within the 2 hours. So always about 2 hours.
Next, I want to sneak in some more questions. Do you charge participants in the circles? And if you do, how much?
Oh, great question. I would love, if you have really specific pricing questions, like I would definitely reach out to me for like that one-on-one consulting, because it really varies. Since I serve underserved populations, so that's why I go through nonprofit organizations, because the organizations will pay me, so that way the participants can receive the services for free. So that will vary depending on the size of the organization. I also do like employee financial wellness circles, right? So if it's for employees, that includes a little bit more professional development, skill building, and helping them to implement financial wellness. So it can be anywhere from 500 a session to 1,500, but it really varies.
Thank you. Broad question next. In what settings is financial social work used?
Oh.
Community social work, therapy, individual and group, community health centers, or private practice, and other?
Every single session. Financial social work, like social work, right, can be integrated in anywhere that you are working with people. People need help, right? So anywhere where people can need someone, money is a part of everything. Let's start there, right? Anything that you want to do, any goals you make, where you live, who you date, if you're going to go out with your friends for brunch this weekend, everything incorporates money. So financial social work can be integrated in everything. I would plug the webinar that we did in April with 4 different financial social workers that we all worked in different fields, and some in private practice therapy, some in community settings, in any setting that you can think of that people are involved in corporate settings. Financial social work can be a part of it. So I think that, yeah, that one came out in April. If you want to go back on the website and see, it was called the Financial Social Work Panel.
As a matter of fact, this recording from this webinar will be on the website next week, but that March recording is, thank you, Tiana, a great way to learn more about financial social work. And when Tiana mentioned the money story free webinar, it was in January of this year, and that recording is on the website. And it was actually the most powerful experience I ever had. And I've done a monthly free webinar for over a decade. So it is worth watching, because it's a tool that could change your life as well as your clients' lives. You have one more question, Lynn? Or should we just...
I think that's it. I think Tiana addressed all of the other questions that we have.
Well, I have to say that I'm like a proud mama to Tiana. It was a beautiful, wonderful, fabulous training, Tiana. Thank you so much. I know that our audience agrees. So take care, everyone, and I hope we'll see you back here next month to learn more about changes in credit scores. All right, be
Thank
safe.
you.
Bye now.